Say, real quick. Just want to throw some game out there to the youngsters out there, and also to some of my people my age, within my age group, just talking about contribution and the importance of it, and in positions, along with occupations that are tied into your contribution to society, and the reasoning why some of us get treated a certain way based on what we do occupation-wise. Not saying that it's fair, but I need you to consider this. If you were building a nation or building a country or building some sort of town and you started a new township, ask yourself, what's more important? Is entertainer more important than an engineer or lawyer, someone in agriculture, someone in health? Is an entertainer more important than someone who's focused on mental health, understand human behavior? Is someone in entertainment more important than someone who understands clean water and energy? Someone in entertainment more important than law enforcement or someone in the judicial system? Now, am I saying that it's fair? No, that's not what I'm saying. You have the freedom to choose what you choose. That's on you. But when we complain and trip on and ask for inclusiveness in this society and wonder why we don't get certain respect in certain titles and occupations, we have to understand why. So if we live in a place where we're focused on progression, building, going to another level, leadership and empowerment, we have to put focus on certain occupations and titles. That's why when you look in history, if a person went and invaded a land, they would keep the doctors and physicians and the scientists, because those people that had value could add value to wherever they went next to build. Same as an engineer or someone in agriculture, because they can feed the people. So now it's not cool to want to read and educate yourselves, young people. I understand nowadays everybody getting the bag. But if you don't have a number set for yourself, getting the bag gonna be useless and senseless, because you're gonna blow it any goddamn way on bullshit. So peep this. Just know that in society, unity is important because it all ties together with our value and purpose as a community and as a culture and as a society. So if we're gonna go in with an argument and with demands, we have to understand how it operates and the things that American society places value on when we're asking for inclusiveness, and stop yelling for certain stuff without understanding how the system actually operates and their reasoning behind a lot of stuff. Some people sometimes may say, well, brother, what do you do? What you doing? Somebody asked me that one time, right? And I had to tell them, I say, well, how on your job, you ever had a job where somebody tried to tell you what to do and you get pissed off all the time? You be like, man, how they gonna tell me and they ain't doing it? They sitting in the office, they behind the scenes. But look at the dig, this is what it is. How on the job, what the think tank is? You got a group of people who's thinking about making plans. How do we get this done? They're sitting up there trying to strategize on how to get things done. How do things operate so that we can be successful in the midst of the competition? How can we be a factor? Or how can we bring value to the field in which we're providing the service? Okay, I'm one of those people in the goddamn think tank. You know what I'm saying? And my contribution is thinking, giving information, studying stuff around me, studying people behavior, and studying the stuff that's important, the stuff that I see within not only my people and my culture, but around us. Because too often times we have people talking about opposition and all this and the enemy this and the enemy that. That's not always the case. So if we're going to be constantly asking and begging for inclusiveness and constantly asking for equality, we have to understand how to fit in and where we fit in. So if we're going to be saying stuff like get in where you fit in, we have to understand where and how to do it in a way to where we're well received and respected long term, not for the moment. So, so we got some Maxine Waters, we got some Condoleezza Rices, we got some of these people, we got some David Banners, we got some Nipsey Hussles, rest in peace. We got some Umar Johnsons. These are brothers and sisters who contribute to society that needs more respect. And we also need to push our children in the fields and areas to have more of them, because they're actually doing it. And they have the blueprint. They have the credentials. You got people like the Sabi family that teaches nutrition. Let's get behind them. Let's build more of them. Not just only boast on having one or two, but we have to embrace them all. We got Dr. Lele Africa's out there. We got a lot of great educators and people that are informed on many levels that can help us structure and build as a community of people on many levels, from education to agriculture to health, and people in finance and wealth like Dr. Claude Anderson and teaching us economics. So just to know, it takes a community effort, and it takes understanding township, it understanding society and culture on different levels beyond just asking for something and expecting something and demanding something from the backs of our ancestors. Because even them, when they got out of their bondage and slavery, they thrived and did better as a whole, better than we are today. So think about that. And it all takes unity, not constantly beating down one another or people who we see or disagree with because they're not doing something the way we would do it. But they're doing it their way because they have the insight and the information to do it. But the only way to actually get it done is to come together in numbers. So back to what somebody asked me one time about why I made the comment, why was it important that I mention brothers and sisters incarcerated have a high illiteracy level. Once again, I can remember growing up, right? My mom, Sarah, man, my rest her soul, my grandparents, Ms. Irma Lee and Mr. Wilson P. Lowe Manuel, they used to always tell me coming up, and I used to cut up in school, they used to say, whatever you do in school, your record's gonna follow you for the rest of your life, or it's gonna follow you to the next level of your life. So when a person pull up my name and my records, they see numbers. They're gonna see what level I read on. They're gonna see what level of school I completed. Even to the day, if you fill out an application that asks you if you're in school, what's your highest grade level completed, and they're gonna ask you your GPA outside of your interests and your current activities. Even as an adult, they're gonna ask you what's your highest grade level completed. So, so it's important because in a society, you have to ask yourself, if a person can't read above a 5th grade level or a 3rd grade level, what do they have or what can they contribute to society that's meaningful as far as an occupation as an agriculture or engineering and structure in the city or the city landscape to understand how do we get clean water? How do we get clean food? How do we keep clean air and energy? How can we understand the body or the mind or finance or town structure if we can't read the literature in order to get the work done? So that's why it's important. Now, I'm not saying that every brother and sister that's in that situation, they're there because they can't read on that level. No, that's not what I'm saying. Because there are great minds who can't read beyond whatever. They can't read at all. Let's not get it twisted. That's not what I'm saying, period. But I'm getting you to understand that in a society that focus on progression, they focus on numbers and focus on things that we overlook because we focus on things being morally correct and spiritually correct in a society that we're asking for inclusiveness in, who focus on progression and finance. And it takes numbers and positions and certain contributions in order to get it done. That's all I'm saying. So think about that. So if we're going to have a warrior mind and a warrior spirit because we're tribal, understand that having a warrior spirit don't only come with using these, it also comes with using this twice as much. So keep that in mind, loved ones. And on top of that, I wish you all nothing but the best success. The youth out there, whatever you do, keep elevating, keep your mind elevating. Also, too, my elders, keep teaching them. Don't be afraid of them. That's a conversation for a whole nother video. So on that, I love you, loved ones, from the heart. Salute. 100.